What's happening, DJs? So the other day I posted a quick walkthrough tour of my brand new Prime 2 flight case, and somebody on Reddit asked me what I think about the Prime 2 as a whole. So I figured instead of leaving a super long Reddit thread, I would just answer it quickly in a quick video, kind of going over the things that I like, some of the things that I dislike about this unit. So kind of starting off, as soon as you get this unit out of the box, it feels like a premium device. It's got a full metal build. You have really good resistance on the faders. The jog wheels have a good weight. Oops. The jog wheels have a good weight to them. The crossfader is a little bit skinnier than what you find on like a Magvel fader, but it's perfect. And the 2.5-inch hard drive bay in the bottom is freaking amazing. The fact that Denon thought, hey, some guys might want to install a hard drive and save their music library onto it instead of having to load up USB sticks or plugging in an external hard drive. That was really great thinking on their part. Another thing that I really like about it, especially from a mobile DJ perspective, is the fact that we get a 3-band EQ on the microphone inputs. So my last controller had a low and a mid for mic 1, and then mic 2 was just a simple tone control. I love that they decided, hey, let's give them 3-band low, mid, high. Now that is shared between both mic inputs, but it isn't that big of a deal. The fact that we even have it is amazing because the chances of you having more than one microphone going on at the exact same time, pretty slim. Another thing that I really, really like about this, and honestly, I think this might be the perfect controller / standalone unit or device for mobile DJs, is the fact that there's an auxiliary input, but then you also have a cue button on that. So you can cue it up in your headphones before you send it out to the loudspeaker system. So I think that was really awesome. Another thing I like is the implementation of Engine OS. I love that there's two different views where you have the vertical waveforms, and then you also have whichever crate you're in at the moment. And then if I go in here and I change the crate, I have that crate in here now too. Or if I'm more of a visual mixer and I'm used to the waveforms being vertical, I can change it to that form and I'm good to go. Another thing I really like is inside of Engine OS, you can actually make a lot of adjustments from the resonance of the filter knob to the talkover settings. So the talkover is awesome because if you have music playing and you start talking into a mic, it'll turn that music down. And you can actually change that setting in Engine OS. So that's one thing I really like about it. A couple things I wish they would have put in here is I wish there would be some kind of sampler or sampling setting with it in standalone mode, especially with Akai being a part of InMusic and being known for samplers. I mean, it would have been super easy for them to put a very inexpensive small memory sampler, have a sample volume knob like the MC7000 has, but that isn't really a big deal. One thing I love about this, especially when you integrate it with like Virtual DJ, is I have yet to find anything that I can do on the Virtual DJ screen that I cannot do on the Prime 2 screen. So I can search for my tracks, I can access my side list, my auto mix. I can do everything on here, or I should say on here, that I can on here, right? And that's awesome, with the exception of accessing your POI editor, your tag editor, things of that nature, but you probably wouldn't be doing that at an event anyways. One thing that really kind of gets me, that is a really big bummer, and is a big reason why I probably would never actually just run this controller. I'll get some field testing with it, but it drives me nuts, is the boot up time. It takes like 5 to 6 seconds for this thing to boot up, regardless if you already had it on. So I will turn it off. And the thing that freaks me out is if I'm at an event and I have 150, 180 people dancing and jamming out, if this loses power, that 5 to 6 seconds might as well feel like an hour, right? Because when you have 150 people dancing and they are all looking at you, waiting to get the music back up and running, every second feels like 10 minutes, right? So that freaks me out a little bit. And it's even longer if you want to use it as a controller, because in order to boot it up, you have to boot it up, wait for it to actually access Engine OS, and now it will allow me to hit source, go to media, and then select it as a controller. I really, really wish that boot up time wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't doubled, especially if I wanted to use it as a controller. So one workaround they could have done is have a button on the backside here that allowed you to select which way you wanted it to boot. So you could switch it to a standalone or switch it to controller. And if you have it switched to controller, when it boots up, it'll automatically go into controller mode. Now, the MPC-1, and I think the MPC-X is the same way, where my MPC-1, when I go to boot that up, it boots up in standalone, then I have to switch it to controller, especially at a live event. That freaks me out. So I'll probably always run an external mixer, always have an auxiliary plugged in, just to be safe in case something loses power. I need to restart this. I can have a song going while I do that. But overall, I honestly think that this is probably the best controller for mobile DJing. With the inputs, with the standalone, with the controller functionality, I think it's pretty awesome. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave them down below in the comments. And feel free to subscribe. I'll probably be posting a lot more videos more frequently. Peace.